Vroom, vroom.
Brake pads.
Luckily, in amongst the junk, I had these old XK Jaguar brake pads. I mean, look, you can see how old they were. They was in the water for God knows. Anyway,
Okay.
that, and then one of our followers suggested doing it with a hole saw,
Okay.
which is what we're doing here.
And a few people suggested you could buy motorbike ones.
Yeah, but you know, that's,
Oh, I'll come round there.
as Colin Chapman used to say, if it costs money, it's too dear.
Okay.
And if it's, what's it? And if you can, and if you can weigh it, it's too heavy.
Okay. Right, so that's what we're starting with. Well,
Yeah,
from
so
the
that's
square.
our blank,
Yeah.
which will go to the lathe down.
Okay, Ivan with the Hoover again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the clever bit, darling.
Again.
There is one other job on the mill,
Okay.
which we can do with that one that's already been machined, is to put the locator hole in, which is our holding jig. And then the
Yeah.
drill we
Oh, that the locator
flattens.
hole, yeah?
Yeah. Basically, we just go down to a set depth,
Yeah.
like that. That's it.
Checking it for size.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Right. How about that then, folks? Paul in America sent me this,
Yeah.
and Susie bought me the frame. Hey, how about that then, eh? And it's lovely, isn't it? But, you know, when you read that book, you know, you look at it and think, oh, what is that, you know? But then when you read that book and you see 100 laps and you look at them cars.
Are they midget or are they big
No,
cars?
they're big cars. I mean, that one there's got a Miller engine, I think.
Okay.
I mean,
well, thank you very much,
that
Paul.
is very cool, but that is serious racing. So then the next thing we do, we are offered a radiator up. So the top hose lines up lovely, bottom hose, this is the water pump, and it's on the engine like that. So it's got this hose going up to the one, you remember we had to bend to miss the start motor. It needs a little, it just touches there, so I think I might just warm it up and just dent it very, very slightly.
Yeah.
And then this hose goes to the radiator. So what it is, the radiator's there, and this is there like that, and it's got this horrible old hose like that, facing this way. So then we had to find a nice pipe. Well, you know us, we've got plenty of pipes. So that's going to go on there. And then that is much further away, so we needed a longer bit of pipe. So we're looking at it and we're thinking, well, we hate that anyway. So then we can't get a tube smaller than that, so that's too. So old John said, what about turning that round? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to re-drill that. Well, he's done it already, look. We'll re-drill that. So when that's on the car now, it's facing in the right direction. So that'll go like that, and then that will be cut off there, and we'll probably have to make a new bit of tube that will just line up with that, and that'll all look tickety-boo.
Okay.
But I mean, that's horrible, isn't it, you know? So that's how we're going to do that. And luckily we've got plenty of those. You know, I say to you, look, it's like when I go to beauty, I buy a box of them and it sorts everything out beautifully. And that bit there, that bit there used to face that way.
Oh, okay, the opposite way.
And then so you had to go up and across and to here.
Okay.
So it was a bit, you know, horrible.
Yeah.
So what we done, we turned that round 180 degrees.
Oh, okay, okay.
Is that halfway?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next thing was...
Let me see that pipe.
The next thing was getting that to line up with that. Well, that all, it goes on there beautifully. One of my hoses that I bought at Bewley. And then what we did was, this bit here is called your climax.
Okay.
So I had that, so we turned that end up like that to make that nice, and then John made that bit there, and then we've welded it round there.
Okay.
And then the fact now we've got a bit of thickness, John has got the rotary file and blended that in, you know, like a... So
okay.
That when the water goes in, it just flows in, you know.
It's all smooth.
It's going to flow better.
Okay.
And then that goes on there, lovely. And then that goes on there, like that.
Okay, let me get that in there.
And then that goes on there,
Yeah.
like that. And because it all looks like a
Oh,
proper
I've got
job.
it now, yeah. Okay.
So I'm very...
That's the radiator progress.
Very pleased with that, so that's done really. So a few Jubilee clips and we sorted that out.
So you don't mind Jubilee clips on water hoses?
Oh no, well, no, I don't at all. No, there's not much you can. Well, you can do that. You can do that in air equip, but you know that's going too far. I mean, I don't even like putting air equip on old cars, but when the days when they were doing this in America, there was masses of ex-government aircrafts.
Okay.
And that was the start, really, I think, of
Air equip,
because, you know, the boys just went into an ex-army breaker's yard and there were mountains of it, probably nuts and bolts and, you know, all sorts of good stuff.
So it looks like progress.
So it is, yeah, so that's a good job done. So with any luck, we can put all the water stuff on there now. But we won't perhaps get carried away because we've got to do the mag. And it might be easier to put all the mag on a sort of
I've got all the mag pictures, I need to print them out.
Yeah, this is
Greg.
from Greg in Australia, who's sending us loads of pictures of how to retire or make a mechanism to retire the mag. But you see, we really, with this car, we sort of decided, in a way, the fact it's got a clutch now,
Yeah.
it means you can tow it.
He sent some pictures also of Offy engines with different gearboxes.
Yeah, you see, so really, if it was a case of like first time or whatever, when they're cold and it's all a bit, you give it a little bit of a tow and warm it up.
Yeah.
You see, it's like when you get to places, you know, like where you say if you run this in a hill climb, you've got to be able to start it up when they say switch off for a minute, you know, switch off.
Yeah.
So you don't have to really get it going from cold. And I think running on methanol with 15 to 1, it might be struggling. But the fact it's got a clutch now means you can tow it behind something and start it up.
Yeah. And a starter motor.
And a starter motor. I mean, I don't know, I'm only guessing, you know, I mean, it might just fire up, I don't know.
Oh, look who we've got helping in the garage today in the shed.
Well, this is Boris.
Yeah, is he helpful?
Boris is...
Are you helpful, Boris?
Boris is just wonderful. If he could help, he would be there, wouldn't he? Look. Hello, mate. What do you think? What do you think?
You could be a
Shed?
YouTube star, Boris.
Yeah, you could be. You could be. Look. Oh, what a lovely old boy. he's all right now. So he's on the farm, and Susie's walking him up and down, and it's not doing her any harm neither. What do you think?
Do you like the Offy, Boris?
Oh, what? Yes, he does, don't you, mate? And he likes his back being scratched, doesn't he, mate?
I tell you what, you'll be there all day.
What do you reckon? But for now, again,
Yeah.
we're going to do the line of least resistance so we can get the car done to a point where, you know, we're going to
Test it.
get it running is the important thing, isn't it? And then that drops in there.
Okay.
So on the left-hand side, between your legs, you just put it in gear.
So what gears, which gears where?
Well, I can't do it at the moment, it's all wobbly, but it's, I think it's 1, 2, 3. But it might be 1, 2, 3.
Has it got a reverse?
Yes, yeah. Well, I don't know where it is at the moment.
Okay.
But I might have to bend it a little bit more. But then you see, that's up there. That ain't going to stop you getting in, is it?
No. And where's the other pedal? You were fiddling with the pedal when I came in.
Yeah. Well, what it is, that pedal, the fact that we've had to mount the master cylinders up quite high, it's actually got quite a lot of leverage, which is good.
Yeah.
And it's a bit wobbly. It's all made up through an Australian Sprite bits.
Okay.
So what I've done is that I strengthened it up with that. So it was all right like that, but it was a bit wobbly.
Oh, so you've added a bit of extra.
So I just put a bit of round bar in.
Okay.
It's the sort of thing I think was done on in the day. You know, that would have been done in the pits probably, because the driver said, "Oh, that's a bit
Soft.
Oh, they
Not
would-
soft, but weak.
So it looks modified, but it would work,
Yeah.
and I think that would be good. Boris wasn't very happy when I started grinding that off.
No.
He obviously has got a very good, what do they call it, health and safety point of view.
Yeah.
I was grinding over there, and we were right over there and sat down.
In the corner.
Yes.
I think he was standing by the Jerry Marshall poster.
Yeah, you didn't reckon all that whizzing, did you, mate? What do you think? Is that all right? Rubbish.
No, he's happy. Well, it's all good, isn't it?
Rubbish.
It's definitely looking more and more like a car every day.
And we're getting on, really. We've got to get some thick oil for the gearbox,
Yeah.
and obviously we'll have to get some oil for the engine. I don't know what they recommend.
And do you think we could, you know, when we're going to Anglesey in March, do you think we could test this in Anglesey?
Yeah, I think we could take it. I mean, you know, we could drive it around the car park if we didn't drive it around the track.
Yeah.
I mean, the car park's about 10 acres, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, I think when old Tim goes, if we're around, we'll definitely go. When does he say he's going?
March.
Oh,
End of March, we're back.
We're back, yeah. One of our followers told us that these books were advertised on
Facebook.
So we got onto the bloke and we bought them. I didn't know what would be in them, I didn't know how good they were, but as it happens, this one is really good. I mean, it's got some fabulous pictures, but you've got to read it, because it's all like press cuttings of the day, and you know, and it's ever so interesting, you know, to understand the background of it. But this is not midget car racing, this is big car racing. So these cars had big engines in them, and the two heroes of the book, they had Offys, and they had big Offys, and they used to win and break the records and all that. So it gives you a real background, you know, and there's pictures of Ronald Reagan when he was young as a film star, because they made a film called Indianapolis
Speedway, maybe?
Speedway, and I've got to get the film, or I'd like to see it anyway. So, and there's pictures of the stars, and you know...
Bob Hope.
Well, it's Bob Hope. Well, look, it says it on there, look. Showbiz Auto Racing.
Yeah, fantastic.
And it was a little bit organised, I think, because the two blokes who won all the time, they were the team, the man who promoted it. They were his drivers.
Okay.
And they had the best Offy engines and whatever, you know. It's very interesting. But anyway, in amongst it, I saw this picture, and I thought, what a fabulous picture, you know. And I think this is quite modern, you know. In other words, these now.
Well, the signature's 2001, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you see.
Maybe it's an old picture, but signed recently.
I don't think so. I think you'll find that is the fact that the blokes in America love them, and they every now and again they have meetings for them, and that is a modern
Well, we
picture.
could see when Russ Lee was alive.
And look at his thumb, look, on the top of the lever. You know, that's
Is
how
that the kill switch?
that's how you kill the engine, yeah. I mean, it is a fabulous picture, I agree. It says it's one of the best pictures ever of a midget car, a big car sideways. So that, I saw that and I thought, well, if that's the best picture ever, I'm going to put my picture forward as the best picture ever in a Bugatti at Prescott Hill Climb, going round the top corner at Prescott sideways. You can see just a little bit of smoke coming off the wheel there, and that is a drop down there. I mean, it ain't sheer, but you wouldn't want to go over there.
And this was 1997, wasn't it?
1997. What happened was I held the record at Prescott in David Ivan's 51, and one day Julian said to me, why don't you borrow my 35B and go up Prescott? So I did. And anyway, I borrowed his 35B. But the big thing about getting the record at Prescott is the weather. Very often the track's slippery and what have you. And that was a fabulous day. It was as dry as a bone. And I broke my own record.
Wow.
I'd had it for like 10 years and then I broke it again.
And what came in the post today?
My licence.
Well, that's exciting. We can go to Prescott in the summer.
Yeah, my licence has come. So I've got an international Group C competition licence. So that's good. But I'm putting this forward because you can't do that in a Bugatti. The Bugattis do not do that because they lift the inside wheel and it straightens itself up. But what happened was the Vintage Sports Car Club said you can't put a limited slip differential in a vintage car. So in other words, a Type 35B, which is vintage, can't have a limited slip diff. But they said you could make the diff solid. So anyway, Julian thought we'd try it, and he had an axle made. He had an axle made, just a straight half shaft with a crown wheel and pinion on it, and tried it. And that is what was in there.
Okay.
So, whereas normally you never could get a 35B at that angle without spinning, you could actually drive it a little bit like a Fraser Nash, but it was very, you know, it didn't feel good. I wouldn't say I was happy with it, but anyway, it enabled me to get that super picture, and I did break my own record, so...
Good.
So they put that one forward, I'm putting that one forward as the best picture of her.
And, yeah, and many thanks to Stephen for the books that we bought from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And some fabulous pictures, a pile of pictures, which I've been going to bed too late. I've been looking at this, because, you read about some tragic stories, about the...
Oh, I don't think I want that.
Two old boys who raced with one another, there they are there probably, and they broke all the records, but they had the best Offy engines, and they were big mates, they used to go on holiday together and all that, and obviously on the track they didn't knock one another off, but they were trying as hard as they could, and anyway, one of them got killed.
Yeah.
Anyway, they sold the car, or his wife sold the car, and it apparently didn't take a lot to repair, it wasn't badly damaged, and that bloke got killed in it.
Oh,
so in the papers it said killer car, like sensationalising it.
No, I don't need any of that.
But it gives you the real picture here. I mean, when I said that old boy at Hershey said to me, "Oh, a lot of our mates got killed in them, my boy. Be careful. You want to think twice before you get in one of them." No, probably right. And when
I'd think that too.
And when you read this, it makes you realise just how dangerous it was. But they were earning a lot of money. It did say here how much they earned.
So you're not going to earn any money. You're just going to do it for fun.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Okay.
Whereas obviously going up Prescott, you ain't got another car.
Okay, so it's a bit safer.
Yeah, a little bit safer, yeah. Or whatever. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get up risking it, but I mean, I just thought it was sad seeing it sitting there with a load of old dust on it.
Okay.
This is all the fittings.
Oh, you've been to the hose shop?
And we got some Loctite.
Yeah.
And we got another one. You remember we did have one of them?
A bender?
The bloke said to me, he said, "You realise how much they cost, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." So it was obviously, anyway.
Well, okay.
So that's it now. So that's the two that go on there.
To get it away from your feet.
Yeah, yeah, so that's that. And then that little fitting there, we've got a new one for that. And then this is just temporary to get the length. So when we go back to see him, he can put this type of pipe on it.
Okay, okay.
And then that is the bit that goes on there. So that we can have a proper fitting that unscrews like that. And that, although it looks a bit ugly, it's all behind the trim, so you can't even see
We
that.
might have to wait till John's finished hoovering.
And then this is the one for the fuel injection. That is going to be that size, and then we've got the little fittings that go on there.
That's good.
But we're going to have to cut that and get that off ourselves.
That looks thicker.
It is, but it won't matter.
Yeah.
And it stands up to, I don't know, 4 bar or something.
Okay, so it's good pressure pipe.
Plenty strong.
And what did you say that you knew the guy at the hoses place?
Yeah, it's quite funny really, because it used to be, what was that bloke's name, John?
Neil, I think.
Neil. So we said, "Where's Neil?" They said, "Oh, he's retired." I said, "Really?" Because he's a young bloke, or seemed a young bloke to me. So then there was another kid there, and I said, "Oh, I remember you." I said, "I remember when you first started." Because he used to be there, and Neil used to be showing him where everything was. So I said, "Yeah," I said, "I remember when you first started," thinking, oh, he's going to say, yeah, 10 years ago. 25 years ago he started. So one bloke's retired, one bloke's been there 25 years. And I remember them both when they started, really.
Yeah.
Quite funny. So I've been going there all that time. But I'm now making the oil pipes
Yeah.
for the dry sump system. And they're being very awkward, because what happens is, no matter how careful you are, you get these little bits, look. I'm sure our followers will know exactly what to do there, but...
Oh, okay, the wiry bits.
Yeah, I've done it ever so carefully. I mean, I've wrapped it with stuff, and I'll try it again, I think. Trouble is, every time I take 1/4 of an inch off it, it's that much shorter, isn't it? So I've got to be a bit careful. And do you cut in the pipe, in the tape, or...?
Yeah, halfway in the middle of the tape.
Oh, I can't do that because it'd be too short.
Oh.
And of course I did it dead to the right length, of course.
That's better.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll give it a little bit of that. Still sticking over there.
What's going on now, isn't it?
I just had trouble with the previous one. The other end I had trouble with.
I think you need to hold it tighter in the vise.
Yeah, I don't want to squeeze the pipe up too much, though. Right, it's there, look, see? It's right there.
Yeah. Pleased with that?
Yeah, I think so. Let's just see if it winds in nicely. Yeah, that's it. actually, as it happens, this one is the return.
Why is that?
You know,
The length of it?
yeah, it's the return, the one that goes back to the tank. But, you know, I shouldn't think the return has a lot of pressure in it anyway. But obviously, you don't want it to jump off. So that goes through there, down through there, down to there.
And one of these two knobs here.
And that one goes on there, goes on the bottom one.
There, see there?
There we go. Yeah, don't forget that this all goes up here like that. Well, I did leave a little bit in hand, but
Oh, it's okay, is it?
we'll see. Yeah, you see, that goes up like that.
Oh, okay then.
I think that'd be alright.
Okay.
At this pipe, when we put the real one on there,
Yeah.
that is going to have to cross over somewhere, because that goes in the top,
Yeah.
in there, and that one goes in the bottom, so, you know, it's going to have to come down. Oh no, yeah, it's going to have to cross over somehow. That won't be, you know, that'll be alright. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? I've got it spot on as it happens.
Okay, good.
And then,
Right, so this is a pipe update.
right, so, the minute you have methanol, always have a big pipe. Fuel, you've got a lot of fuel to go through. So, you know, but it's no bigger than the original. It had this size pipe originally. Right, so that, we've done all that, look. It goes down there, into the thing.
Hold on, so here.
Yeah. And into the tank, there.
Yeah. On off switch. There.
Comes round there,
And then it comes round there.
and it's going to go, that is going to go in there. Like
Yeah.
that. And then it goes into the pump.
Okay.
And that's the big pipe. Now the return is this one. So that comes down, goes down to there, and goes on to there.
Really stupid. I don't understand why you have a return pipe.
Ah, well what happens is, this is the pump.
Okay, that is the pump. A fuel pump.
That is the fuel pump, which is
Okay.
very serious. I mean, it's got a bit of pressure. And what happens is, to get the pressure right and to get the mixture right, inside here, if you remember we discussed it, is the pill.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Right, so the pill's inside there, and I think you have to have the pill close to the pump,
Okay.
so that obviously when it works, it hasn't got...
And that regulates the pressure.
and that regulates the pressure.
And that's
So-
for the fuel injection.
So we've got that as close as we can get it, and then that is the return pipe that comes up there, and it's going to go on there, and then that will get swaged on, and that will get swaged on. So that's what we do. We get everything done, and then we take it back, and that will be swaged. They've got a machine
Okay.
that pressurises it and forces it down into there. And the pressure is regulated by the amount of fuel that can escape.
So
And
not all the fuel goes in, some of it returns back.
Well, the idea of it is that that little pill, the size of that sets the pressure, doesn't it? Because when it gets here, it goes to there, but it can also go that way.
Okay.
So to get the pressure, you reduce the size
Okay,
of the
okay.
pill. So that's that. And then there's a pipe comes off there. That one there, look, goes to there and there.
Yeah, and that's a new one.
And that's a new one. And the reason it isn't all yet is
Yeah.
because I'm
You've
going to
done it.
set the length. And then once the length is set, it'll be like that. I mean, if you look at that, you can't believe them. I mean, they're obviously hydraulic. They're not necessary, really. But it's ever so easy to get it done. But they've got a machine. They've got a machine that squeezes that. I mean, look at it. It's a real serious bit of metal. That will go on there like that. That will go on there, and that will get squeezed down till that bit there goes on that ridge there.
Yeah.
And it goes down to like that. So you can imagine the hydraulic machine that does it.
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary, because it ain't going to have that much pressure, but it's easy to get done.
Yeah.
It's over the top, which can't be bad. Now, I always think about this. You know, you see cars, they've just had a big accident, and the tail's been knocked off, and the fuel tank is laying in the road.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, well, if that's all held on, like, really good, there's a good chance that that'll all finish up with the pipes still on it. It's when the pipes break off and fuel everywhere.
Okay.
So I reckon having it over the top is not a bad thing.
Okay.
And then when we fix it down, we won't fix it down like a loony everywhere. We'll fix it just with some very skinny tie wraps. So again, if that finished up going well like that, it'll break all the tie wraps.
But the pipes would be into it.
The other thing that happens is, if it's all well done, it'll probably break that out of there, and all the fuel will jump out. Whereas if that's all held, you know, this is all imagination, but what I'm saying is it's better to have that better than it needs to be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Right, so that goes like that. Now.
So that goes like that.
Right,
Okay.
like that. Now, we could have all sorts of things fixed to this. You know, we could put that there, we could put the thing on and fix it up. But you go to scrutineering.
I want to see the master cylinder or something.
And the scrutineer says, what about your master, you've got to check the oil in there. Well, obviously we would have checked the oil, but we want to be able to undo and pull it out like that and be able to see them there. So we don't want anything fixed to this, so that we can quickly take it out like that. So that pipe's not going to get fixed to that, it's going to come through there. Obviously, we ain't going to have any sharp edges, we'll attend to all that. That'll go on there. Now, it has a filter that is a proper filter made by a company that makes the fuel injection. And I've lost it. Oh, here it is. And that's got a very fine filter in it.
And have you tested that?
No, we've had it a bit and looked at it, it's lovely. Now, we could put that down there, completely hidden. But then if there's any dirt in this bit here, it goes in there. So I would say,
as near as possible to
well, I would say that if you read, and I haven't, the Hillborn injection book, it would say mount this as close to the filter, as close to the pump as you can.
Yeah.
So that is going to go on there.
Yeah.
Now, whether we'll fit it down to there or whether we just leave it flopping.
Might bang up and down.
Even if we do fix it down, it ain't going to be fixed down like, oh, it's a drama to get off. Because we might finish up having to take that off. So that's going to go on there, that's going to go there, that's the return. And then there's another pipe comes off there and goes to the fuel pressure gauge.
Yeah.
And we've got that all ready to be
fitted.
Lengthened. See, what I like to do is I like to have everything the right length. So that's it there. So that will come off of there and go to the thing, you know, and it'll be the dead right length, just a little bit of slack. That's the old one, which wasn't long enough because we've moved the engine fracture forward and we've moved that back 6 inches, so that makes it. But it would be nice if you can get that panel out without too much of a drama.
Okay. And yesterday we had some of that reinforced kind of silvery pipe
Ah, yes.
that you were sawing. Is that around there?
So that is going to go, it's in there.
For this, it was this
It's
yesterday.
that one there.
I know.
That one there. Look.
This one.
See, that's the one that takes the fuel, takes the oil back
To the sump tank.
to the tank. So that'll go in the top there.
Yeah.
Right. This is just a temporary one. And then what will happen?
Oh, with the oil cleaner.
With the oil cleaner, yeah, or the filter, or screen, or whatever you like to call it. And then what will happen is the so then what happened was I got 2 meters of that. So when we take that off,
Yeah.
like that, which we'll put the ends on got more than we need, obviously. And that will go, and then that will come off, and then the two pipes will run along there together. So then, that's done, right?
Yeah.
So now we've got the breather. If you remember, it was on there with a load of Jubilee clips. Well, that's the fitting we bought.
Yeah.
That comes down along here to the tank.
Oh, this black pipe.
Yeah, and then what happens is,
Well, where's that black pipe? Yeah.
so this is the black pipe here,
Oh,
right?
it's not finished yet.
No. So what I'll do is, you see, I'll get that, and I'll put that on there, and I'll get that dead the right length, and then I'll put the ferrule on it,
Yeah.
and then when we go to man, I'll squeeze that all up, and that'll be done.
Yeah.
That one goes into the bottom. Yeah, that's the bottom part. So that will go on there, which is the return.
Yeah.
No, hang on. Let's get it right.
Has that got the filter on it?
No, that goes on the top, I think. Yeah, that goes on. That's the return. Because
And
that's
that return, that's got the oil screen on.
no, that's the one with the oil screen on.
Oh,
that
sorry,
one,
that's okay. Yeah.
which is all temporary until we've run it for a bit. That'll just go on there. See, now the one that goes on there, which I've just showed you, will have a fitting like that, so it won't be in the way of your foot. So all of that lot, so that is the breather, the feed there, and the return there, and that'll all run along that chassis neatly underneath there.
Yeah, I got it.
And that's ugly, but that will be coming off.
Yeah, oh, it's all coming together.
And then it'll all be the right length. So right, so now let's imagine we've run the car, brum, 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 we've done whatever with it, lovely. You can't just switch it off. You've got to clean it out completely. Because methanol, years ago I did a Maserati, we had a brand new supercharger. Anyway, we had a brand new magnesium supercharger. And we ran it at Silverstone, and we came back, and it was like early days. I didn't know that much about it all. The next day, I went to try and turn it solid. The methanol had turned the inside of the supercharger to look like being in a bonfire. But the trouble was, originally it has a hole drilled in the bottom of the supercharger, a little tiny hole, so that when you finish, it all runs out. And the man hadn't drilled the hole. And I said to him, what about the hole? He said, oh, didn't you drill the hole? I said, well, you don't expect to buy a new supercharger for £3,000 and have to drill a hole in it. Anyway, he wasn't going to stand on. He was, you know, that sort of, he wouldn't stand on. So anyway, in the end, I had to buy another supercharger. It cost me £3,000.
Okay,
So I learned...
How do you flush the methanol out?
Well, you just take it out. So you unscrew that underneath there, drain the tank, take that pipe out, blow it out, blow that
blow
out.
it out, yeah.
Take everything off virtually.
After every time you use it?
And then, on the briquettes, what I used to do with them, I used to run a bit of petrol through them, which made them very rich, but it got rid of the methanol.
Okay.
So I haven't had enough experience yet, but, you know, obviously I learned, won't I? That if we have to take it to bits, we'll take it to bits. If we can run some petrol through it, I don't know. But I know we ain't going to leave it in there.
Okay, good.
And that is why you don't want Jubilee clips.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to just go like that, take it off, get it all cleaned out.
Yeah. Well, that's, I'll tell you what, we've got quite a lot of footage. What are you
So
going to say?
this here, look,
Okay.
this one here is for the tank, for the pump, you know, to initially
hand pump.
fill that with pressure.
Yeah.
And it only has a little bit of pipe, but the little bit of pipe is very expensive. So the man's given us this
For a
bit
dummy
of
run.
plastic. So we'll join all that up, and then we take it to him, and then we get a nice piece of proper black pipe.
Exactly the right length.
Exactly rightly.
It wants
I'm
to be
recording.
180 degrees the other way.
Oh,
Someone's put it on wrong.
are you sure? Because we have it in the car.
100% positive.
So it's never been used?
Well, it has been used, but it's probably like broke.
Oh, it's broken.
If you put that on there, That's hot, so don't grab it.
No, no.
Right. See how that's... If that was around the other way,
Oh, I see.
that face would be flat.
Yeah. If you can do it without ruining the pump. 'Cause
Yeah,
don't
well,
forget
it did move and just warm up.
You've got that washer in there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And what's that pipe then?
What?
What are you doing now?
Oil pressure pipe.
Okay, good.
So, and it's the one that came with the car. So that's going to be sort of like that, roughly.
And that
Right.
goes to the instrument.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, the oil pressure pipe gauge is in the middle of the dashboard.
Okay, so that fits into the back of that.
I'll go on to it like that.
And that was long enough, that pipe.
I think so. Look,
Yeah.
a little bit
Okay.
long if anything, but
Yeah.
I mean I can always shorten that down if I have to.
And the fuel and the temperature gauge is connected as well.
That goes in there.
Okay, so that's a pipe you've put in, that's good.
So it's going to look a bit untidy here.
And then we'll have that fuel pipe with the filter.
The filter, and then we've got another pipe going across to there for the return, and we've got another pipe going there for that. So it's going to look a bit
Busy.
but it's all being done in the method so that we can take that out
Yeah.
if we have to.
Okay.
Well, the whole thing comes out. Everything we always do, we always think we're going to be taking out a bit, so we make it as easy as we can.
And what's John doing?
Brake pipes. So
Okay.
and these here interfered with that. So we've managed to find, in amongst the stuff, a couple of banjo type ones.
Okay.
And John's made up a banjo fitting.
And that's to keep it away from the shock absorbers.
Yeah, and that will keep it away from, and it's rubber, which is what I like. And when we go to Spectrum, we can get the proper little washers to go in there, proper little fibre washers.
Okay.
I mean, we got fibre washers, but they're all different sizes, and you never got the size you want.
So you want decent new ones.
So when we go there, we get really good ones for that.
Let me see this side. Copper.
Yeah, not fibre.
Copper, yeah.
Okay. So that's okay.
And luckily, we've got some of the proper original steel brake pipe. None of that cumulative stuff and copper
Right.
pipe, which we hate. That is proper steel, as you would get on a production car years ago.
Okay, good.
And luckily, I've got a bundle of it.
Okay, so that's the brake pipes. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what, just at the end of this video, what are we going to say?
Well, what I'm going to say is it ain't going to be long, folks, before we're going to be firing this up. We'll have to tow it. Won't put the body on it, obviously. And we'll tow it to get, because it says, I've got a book, I've got to get the book out. If you go back upstairs, Susie, look up the Offy Midget
box
file, get it out, because there's an instruction in there from Shelby York saying tow it round till you get the oil pressure, do this, do that, do the other. So we might as well do what he said. Put some methanol in there, blah, blah, blah. Brum, brum, hopefully. But that could be next week.
And then what?
I don't know.
At the end of the bloody video, what'd you say?
Oh, what you mean about?
What'd you say at the end of each video?
I actually know, but it's fun teasing you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to press the like button. And don't forget to tell all your friends they've got to watch Shed Racing.